Aloha guys, GRTV here. Uh, Glad to check in. Uh, just some positive and also rational perspective wanting to share here. One of them being related to this idea of um, sex organ size, penis or vagina. The other relating to how to feel good about saving money. There are different um, videos out there on both of these subjects, and I have a take on it too. And part of it is asking the right questions. For example, you know, it's not about how to save money. It's about feeling good about how to feel good about saving money. For example, you think of something like you need a new pair of clothing, then you think, oh, I would only need that clothing to impress somebody. It wouldn't impress me. It would feel like a burden to me to have to buy it. Or you can think of the amount of time of exchanging. You know, so people who are good with their money, they're usually talking about money. They're thinking about their money. They're counting it every day. They're you know they're doing stuff like uh, saying to themselves, "Oh, nobody else is going to take my money. No one else is going to take your money." If you're a little defensive in the sense that thinking that, people's goal is to get you to spend money, then you're going to be able to look out for your own money. Another thing is thinking that you need to help other people with your money, like even businesses. Like for example, uh, maybe going to a restaurant thinking that, oh, it's part of the community. I should, this whole idea, like you've got to spend to support others. The whole idea, okay, of that in order to be a good contributor to society or the community you are coexisting in, is that you have to spend. Not true. There are different bartered and services, and the problem with spending money, or the whole idea of money, is that it involves other little details like the cost of printing money, unless you're using paperless, or what credit cards, whatnot. Um, the cost of the banks operating, you know the there are other things like there's interest, there's taxes, there's all these things and hidden things, and where it's part of a societal structure, but people aren't exactly like for example, insurance companies. You're paying the insurance people, but what? So there's kind of gray areas of the service of the middleman, quote unquote. For example, salesperson selling a car instead of buying directly from the manufacturer. That's there's all these gray areas, but it should be just bring it to light, exactly. And everyone's doing some type of business, you know, um, or they're asking for charity, and never give charity if you can't afford to. You know, that's another big one. And represent that to people. Say if they're asking, say, I'm a limited budget. I have yet to be able to afford to meet my needs and my immediate family's needs. And that brings up another big idea of, who you label and describe as your family. Those people may expect things from you, expect monetary support. So be careful, be selective about who you label family. That's why I invented the term the dream team. People who you see as equals, that you are willing to share your wealth, resources, and time and energy with. And speaking of energy, whether you direct good or bad energy towards people, you're giving them your energy. You're giving them your time that it takes to focus on them. So consider that as well. In who you look at, who you celebrate. And get into this other topic of, it's kind of, there's this kind of negative connotation put on kind of forcing men or or women, penis size, breast size, that, oh, it's got to be some, you you have to impress people with your body, and all of that, or and 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 that's not love. It really has to do with lust and power, and the primary contributing factors to a true love relationship isn't even sexual compatibility. It's subtle things where people are well developed individuals, in their pursuits in life, and therefore they they respect that about themselves. They respect their dreams and goals, and in turn they choose to want, they choose to be highly selective based upon that. It's kind of the subtle things that keep people together, and it's like somebody who you truly want to be with. It goes beyond the physical, but physical is great, of course. Compatibility physically, and as I'm saying, like maybe personality wise. But what I will say, okay, is that I think a medium-sized sex organs are more functional. The idea, and like terms like average imply opinions like bigger is preferable. So be careful of the semantics that some people use, and especially if people who talk about pee-pee size or breast size, it's really not appropriate to talk about. And another thing people do is they try to suggest that somehow pee-pee size is more significant or relevant than the quote-unquote the VV size, vagina. It's not good to necessarily to have a large vagina either. But these are things that are personal and private, and I wouldn't discuss except for scientific investigation. And there should be respect for people. There should be respect for people, and there should also be a sense of wanting good for people. Like in the fantasy kind of realm, it's cool for people to fantasize about whatever they want or whatnot. But in reality, someone who loves another person doesn't cheat on them because they see somebody with what they see to be a more attractive body. And in the real world, people are not envious of each other because they want good for each other. And if someone's misusing their body or their wealth, okay, it's not something worthy of envy, really. It's just something of disapproving of. There's no such thing as envy. That's one of my theories. It's just disapproval of something or of someone. So, all that considered, there are other things to consider regarding sexual compatibility. See, a complete vagina, the back of the vagina has the A spot, it's called, and sometimes you need to have different positions or different size, quote-unquote, pee-pee in order to reach it. And so you don't have to. People think you have to have intercourse in order to determine your compatibility, but what you really only need is to talk to each other and ask each other about your via the internet. You can or via what do you call it, just video chat. You can talk to each other about these matters, about maybe someone you're interested in romantically. My advice to people is to as far as dating is concerned, quote unquote, is to, if you see somebody and you observe them and you like their vibe and you don't know them, then go on a date and, get to know each other as if you knew each other from, say, high school or college or work, and then, but don't make it romantic, and just make it such that you, in any future interactions or email based, like you can talk about exchange more personal thoughts on email, and the whole idea of quote unquote girlfriend boyfriend, I think, is silly, because I don't see how it it relates to the real world in terms of, absolutes. Like, for me, I think the truth is if people really respect and care about each other, and if you actually do, you don't treat people, you don't like tease each other. You don't call each other boyfriend, girlfriend, say it may or not work out. You don't even say, oh, we're going to be engaged for this amount of time, or, oh, we need to, we have to, like, be nice to each other, or whatever. It's a lot of people find a lot of people attractive. Okay, so that's not enough. And if you're gonna really love someone, you need to, in my opinion, to prove that love. It's just the marriage ceremony is just secondary to the main event, which is physical intimacy, verbal and physical intimacy. That's real marriage, or quote unquote bonding with another human being. But I just wanted to bring up these issues because I think some people bring them up, and I think it's inappropriate for people to bring up things that open up the line for competitive, negative, sexual tension, like different different sizes of people's body parts and their bodies and their with their financial status and things like that. Oh, that's cool. Three Escalades there. In any case, so like I was saying, like I was saying, it's all about respect. It's all about respect and caring about people, and the way that you care about people and yourself is by defining love as commitment to mutual commitment to one's dreams. So that's the healthy way to do things. And remember that all these ideas and distractions will and focal, making other people and their relationships and bodies a focal point, will simply interfere with yourself and your life, your pursuits of your dreams. And you have to, like I said, it's really, life is about asking these smart and apropos questions. Some cool Escalades over there. A nice white light headlights. It's about asking the right questions. Like, don't ask, oh, will people find my body or sex organs attractive? That's not the right question to ask. The right question to ask is, will your dream mate find your body and you attractive? And then the next part of it is, do you want to the next part of it is like, do you want to Do you want to be with somebody if they're not have a mutual physical attraction with you? That's another thing. Don't want to be with somebody if unless you both have a mutual physical attraction to one another. This is being royal. This is I want to quote over here a quote I'm just seeing right here. It's called a higher standard. Okay, and coming from the heart space, respect from the heart. And so I'm gonna actually wrap it up here, but you get the idea. And if you don't like your body, just invest in future incarnations. But just realize that all these bodies belong to us. They're all ours. Everything is us. The mountains, the people, the stars, and everything that's going on in the solar systems. It's us. So remember that, and want good for yourself. Most importantly, I think, an emphasis and enthusiasm towards the vagina, celebration of it, of women, that every woman's a healthy woman is like, a flower, and we can celebrate that. See the nice hula dancing lady there. And then, we're living well is an art. We're living well is an art. All right. Let's go to a place where there's that level of quality of wholesomeness, and a realization that class doesn't have to do with monies and bloodlines, but rather it has to do with the degree of formality to which you approach life, and whether you have respect for yourself and your dreams, and you develop them, and you make effort to attain refinement in your life, and quality, better, improving from one generation to the next. These thoughts may not be entirely cohesive, but I'm trying to knit them together. It's more of a free form of thinking that I'm presenting to you in this manner, but I think you get the general understanding